Sunderland Drunken Match Reviews, sponsored by Jamsarny. Hi guys, and welcome to Sunderland vs Accrington match review. So Sunderland have just come away with a brilliant 2-1 win at their stadium to keep us top of the table, top of the League One table for, what is it, 2 weeks now? 3 weeks now? I don't care, we're top of the league. I don't give a shit. Sorry, I'm getting far too excited. This is really unprofessional from me, because you're so used to such professionalism on this channel. But in all seriousness, Sunderland did just come away with a very, very valuable 3 points at the top of the table against Accrington Stanley, of course. It was a top of the table clash at the beginning of the day, 3 o'clock. Accrington second, of course, we were top of the league. And they were a good side, Accrington. You could see that throughout the afternoon. And if we get into the match review, we did start off with Hoffman. He made his first appearance in goal. I thought it was a little bit harsh on Patterson, in my opinion. I actually expected, to be fair, I did expect Hoffman to start. But I thought if that was the case, then Patterson would be on the bench. But he wasn't. It was Burge. Which, again, I can kind of understand because Burge is the sort of senior goalkeeper as such. But Patterson played the last couple of games and he's been brilliant. He hasn't put a foot wrong. So just sort of completely just push him out completely. I feel like that was quite poor management in my opinion. But either way, I'm not going to linger on it. We have just got 3 points. I don't like to be negative when I'm doing these kind of reviews, of course. But yeah, so we had Hoffman in goal. Then across the back, we had Sirkin, we had Flanagan. We had Doyle and Winchester across the back. In the middle two, we had Dan Neil, of course, my favourite player at the moment, alongside Luke O'Nien, the man I'm in love with. And the three behind Ross Stewart, we had McGeady, Embleton and Gooch. And then, of course, as mentioned, Stewart up top. So getting into the game, we started off really well. And for the opening sort of like 10-15 minutes, I felt like there was just this brilliant sort of free-flowing, energetic football. And you could really just get this sense of, the kind of style we're going for at the minute. We're making chance after chance, not necessarily clear cut, but we're just getting in and around the area with some really quick passing moves. And I think, if anything, it was just our decision making that let us down at times. Winchester let loose from sort of outside the box, which went just past the post. It was his weaker left foot, 25-yard out. They'd gone just past the top left-hand corner. There was times where, Embleton got down the left-hand side. He should have just passed it into Gooch. It would have been a tap-in. But instead he's gone for goal himself. It was blocked and went out. There was plenty of chances where we get fizzing balls across goal, and no one was getting on the end of them. So we were making chance after chance after chance, but not sort of clear cut, if you know what I mean. But it was exciting, dynamic, fluid football, which I really, really enjoyed seeing. It was really, really exciting football. Then eventually we did break the deadlock anyway. And it was from my boy, Dan Neil. What a strike, son. It falls through on the edge of the box. It's bobbling, so he has to bring it down, takes on his man, shifts it to his left with his left foot, and he's put it into the top left-hand corner. It's a beautiful strike, absolutely beautiful strike, and it was the least we deserved. Because at that point, Accrington, they seemed to be a relatively physical side, and they were trying to kind of get the ball on the ground, but our press, we just weren't letting them do it at all. And we absolutely deserved our lead. I feel like after we did score, then absolutely, put a sort of firework up Accrington, and they were starting to get at us a little bit more. But it weren't like they were creating clear-cut chances. The only thing that was worrying me and was annoying me was our defending in general from open play. I thought it was very good. Winchester at right back, I think, was absolutely outstanding. Sirkin on the other side, it was great. And I feel like Flanagan and Doyle, they actually worked really well together in open play, as I say. But with set pieces, it was utterly minging defending. And when I say minging, I mean it was genuinely god-awful. It was shocking. What had happened, so a ball, I think it came up from the left-hand side, if I remember correctly. There were a couple of little free kicks. We're giving away free kicks for no real reason, really needless free kicks out on the wings. And when the ball was coming in, we look like we're all tight, we're man-marking our players, but then we just let them run across us. But if you look and you watch those free kicks, we're allowing runners to come across. It's like it's almost quite arrogant defending, as if you're just expecting them to mess it up. You're not following your men, you're not tracking your men. And it kept on happening, and that's what happens. And what that just creates those goal mouth scrambles that we really don't need. And it was happening time and time again, and we eventually get caught out, and it's Nottingham. He's a big lad anyway. And he comes and cuts across the near post. He gets the header on. Could Hoffman do better? Potentially. He flung himself across to his near post and he couldn't get to it. It's 1-1. So we're going to half-time. It's 1-1. I felt like we were quite hard done by. Although, Accrington, their sort of goal was get it out wide, put balls in the box. And, it didn't surprise me because generally from set pieces mainly, we looked very, very poor. But defensively, we just managed to deal with it when crosses were coming in on the wings. And that was a massive concern. Even going into the second half, we allowed crosses to come in very, very easily. I don't think we blocked, I think we probably allowed 90% of the attempted crosses to come in, which is really, really worrying. Winchester, I think, he's not a right back, but he looks brilliant there. He genuinely looks brilliant. Going forward, he was great. He got his goal, of course, later on in the game, which we'll get to. But, defensively, crosses were coming in far too easy on both sides. Sirkin, I think when he stood up one-on-one in certain situations, he reads the game well, intercepts, and then he plays it forward. I don't think he got forward as much as I would have liked and linked up with McGeady. There's a few times where I think he played a bit too safe, Sirkin, on the left-hand side, where I'm thinking, get at your man. He's almost in the final third, Sirkin, but instead he plays it backwards rather than getting the ball in the box, because we know he has a good delivery on him. Sirkin does have a good delivery on him, but he just didn't seem to have that confidence. And but defensively, when it was balls sort of spreading over towards his side, he was winning everything in the air. But when it comes to just being stood up one-on-one, sort of by the byline, he was allowing cross after cross after cross to come in. And then that's where our downfall was sort of coming from. But into the second half, we did move. And for me, in the final third, if we touch that way, I feel as though Embleton and Gooch, as much as, of course, I love Embleton, I've said that many a time, I feel like Embleton's decision-making, as well as Gooch's, their decision-making really let us down a lot today. They were getting themselves into brilliant positions, which, is a skill in itself. But there were just so many times where either Ross Stewart was free in the middle, or there was that time when I mentioned earlier, Embleton broke down the left-hand side, all they had to do was slip it into Gooch to tap it in. It would have been a goal, but they went for goal themselves. Gooch were doing it several times. For me, McGeady, I think, was actually very, very good today. Whenever he got the ball, he would drive at their left or right back, and he was putting very, very dangerous crosses in. And we did get the chance with Ross Stewart, who I jokingly said on Twitter, I said, why is he doing an impression of Wyke? There's a time and place for comedy. But he got slipped through very, very nicely. He's one-on-one with the keeper. Rather than just dinking it past him or at least just shooting, he's trying to take him on when the ball didn't really have that momentum to kind of just, sway it past the keeper before knocking it in. It didn't have that at all. So he's made it very easy for the keeper. He's tried to take the keeper on. Keeper's gathered it easily. And that should have been it. That should have been there 3-1. But it wasn't. I've just realised that I've just skipped the second goal. But yeah, so Winchester did manage to get the second goal. It was played into him on the right hand side. It was a very, very well thought out ball from Haydn McGeady. He slips in Winchester again. It's such an intelligent runner. He's such an intelligent player. Is Winchester so many times on the ball, where it looks like there's nothing on, and he quickly swivel in between two players before playing it. He's so calm and so intelligent, and his retention of the ball is absolutely outstanding. But in terms of the goal, he's managed to lose his man on the opposite side. McGeady with an inch-perfect ball, and he slid it past the keeper to make it 2-1. And that happened just not too long before the Stewart chance I did mention earlier. Yes, that was 2-1. But then, of course, time goes on. Embleton, or Gooch, should I say, did come off, as did Embleton later on in the game, and we tried to defend. Bailey Wright come on, defended for the last few moments. Winchester pushed into midfield. Flanagan moved over to right back, and we're defending for our lives, really. But we're just sort of, again, allowing cross after cross after cross to come in, which eventually we did deal with. But, it was just quite frustrating how easy we're letting these crosses come in, and I think that could potentially be our downfall. Luckily, we scored more than we conceded today. But on another day, it could go another way. So we do need to improve massively defensively. But we managed to weather the storm of 6 minutes at a time. Where I don't know how the hell the referee got away with that, or give us that 6 minutes. No idea. Maybe 3 or 4, because there were a few stoppages. But 6 minutes. It's happened a couple of times already this season. Absolute piss take. But either way, it's another 3 points. For me, my man of the match, it goes to Winchester. I just think it was such a breath of fresh air today. I mean, Dan Neal's goal was absolutely phenomenal, don't get me wrong. I think he was great for the majority of the afternoon. But Winchester, he was just so reliable defensively on the majority, for the majority of the game. And of course, he got his goal. But he was just so unbelievably reliable. And going forward, like I say, he really showed his intelligence, so much skill on that right-hand side. And he dragged us up the pitch. And plenty of occasions, which I really, really appreciated. So my man of the match is Call Winchester. We're currently top of the league still, which I'm absolutely loving. So you guys in the comments down below, let me know what you thought of the game down below. Who was your man of the match as well? Remember, I'm trying to fight against the alcohol here. If you have enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe and all that nonsense. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.